2025 was not my biggest year hiking mileage-wise. But what surprised me is that this year taught me some of the most impactful and important lessons that I have learned on the trail. Between hiking the Tahoe Rim Trail solo and spending 2 days hiking across Zion National Park, I learned that I am still learning, that I am still making mistakes, and I am still refining my backpacking and through hiking skill set. Today I want to share the biggest backpacking lessons that I learned this year, the ones that I wish I would have known sooner, and the ones that will affect how I plan and prepare and hike in 2026. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel and thank you for being here with me again this week. Hey, I wanted to just kind of, as we're getting close to the end of the year, finish with a bit of a look back at the hiking season that was for me and some of the impactful and important lessons that were learned. So let's get right into it. With the first one being solo is not really alone. So I did my first long solo through hike this year of the Tahoe Rim Trail, and I loved it. There were so many things about that trail and that experience in particular that really stood out to me and that I was able to learn, and how it has changed me as a hiker and as a person. One of the things I think was super impactful is while I did do that hike solo, I was able to do it. I was really nervous going into that hike, wondering how am I gonna do this solo? I've never done a backpacking trip that long by myself before. And it ended up being a really great experience. It also allowed me to just hike my hike. And I think that's why I really enjoyed the solo aspect of that. You know, my pace, when I wake up, how I choose to eat on trail, the time I take for breaks or whatnot is probably going to be very different than you or others that are out there. And so the ability to just kind of do it at my pace, at my leisure, I really enjoyed that, and I think I'll continue to enjoy that as I think about other trips and other things in the future. Now, that's not to say that I would want to hike every trail and every experience by myself. It is a lot of fun to be with friends in the outdoors. All of you know this. Many of you probably have great experiences with family or friends. So I'm not writing that off by any means, but I think what I'm just saying is that alone wasn't as intimidating as I thought it would be, and there were so many really neat and positive experiences, but having some of that dedicated time to myself was really meaningful, and I'm grateful that I did that. Moving into, I think, lesson number 2, if you watch that TRT series or any of my kind of TRT subsequent videos, you know that I had one major challenge, and that was my feet and footwear. And I think the lesson there is just footwear really matters. I used the Topo Athletic Pursuit in 2024 in the JMT and had not a single blister, not a single foot problem. And honestly, I've never had a blister or a foot problem in any of my hiking prior to that experience on the TRT. But using a same Topo Athletic, but the Mountain Racer 3 on the TRT, it just kind of wrecked my feet, but it just did not do well for me, unfortunately. And I realized, 1, messing with perfection is not good. And 2, I did not get as many miles in those shoes as I probably should have. Partly because I didn't want to kind of ruin them or wear them down before the TRT. And partly because I made the decision kind of later into the spring and wasn't able to put as many miles on them as I probably should have or would have liked to. So I think moving forward, 1, I just need to be okay to put more miles on a shoe, and obviously footwear is super important. So once you find a shoe or a boot or whatever it is that works really well for you, don't change it. Keep going with it, because that can really ruin a hike faster than anything else. So I am curious, what shoes did you use this year in 2025, and what was your experience with them? Were they crazy, kind of not good like those Mountain Racers, or did you have great shoes that were fantastic, that were just like the best experience ever? I'd be curious. Comment below, let us know what shoes you chose to use in 2025, and are those the ones that you will continue with in 2026? I think lesson 3 that I'll touch on here is being adaptable and flexible in our planning. So I had two trails, if you recall from some older videos in the spring, that I was planning to do this year. One was the Tahoe Rim Trail solo, and the other was the Uinta Highline Trail with my wife. Now, the Tahoe Rim Trail went perfectly to plan, but the Uinta Highline Trail hike didn't happen. I went up on the week that I had planned to do it. I went up and dropped my car off on the western end of the trail at Hayden Pass. And as I was kind of coming back down and kind of through that night, something just did not feel right. I had this very unsettled feeling about the trail. And so I just kind of called it that night and said, hey, I don't think I'm going to do the hike. I was all ready for it, had the food, had my bags packed, ready to go. I was going to be out early the next morning to drive out to the eastern end there at McKee Draw, and just canceled it. And the next day, a fire had started up near the western end of the trail. I don't know how big of a deal that would have been, but I know that there was quite a bit of smoke through the area, and they did officially close down portions of the Highline Trail for a period of time. And so that trip just didn't end up happening, unfortunately. I would love to, and would still love to do that trail again. It is just absolutely stunning and gorgeous, and a challenging trail, but a fun one. And so plans have to change. And after thinking about it and trying to figure out if there was something else I wanted to do this year, I was able to find a way to get a couple of permits to do the Zion Traverse Trail. But that was kind of the alternative hike. You know, it wasn't 100+ miles through the high Uintas. That was about 40 miles, but beautiful through Zion National Park. And I did that in October. So the scenery, the trees, the aspen trees up there, specifically in the Kolob sections of the trail, were just gorgeous. And I am really grateful I was able to do that trail. That is one area of flexibility, and obviously there's flexibility while on the trail, and whether that's a trip that you got to adapt and overcome, or whether that is challenges that will happen, or environments or things that will happen while you're on the trail. There's a need to adapt to those things and overcome those challenges. So I am just grateful for that reminder that, you know, I can only control what I can control, and I've got the ability to adapt how I'm seeing things or doing things, and I can change and focus on what's in my sphere of influence. So just a good reminder of that this year, as I had to make a few changes to some plans, and then the daily changes to plans or things that will happen while you're on the trail. So that's number 3, and let's move on here to number 4. Number 4 is really, in my mind, that just gear, I am constantly dialing that in and making some adjustments and some changes. I wanted to try out frameless packs on my hikes this year. Thought I had everything down that I needed to, base weight, everything. Typically my base weight is sitting under 10 pounds, kind of in the 9 to 9.5 range. Depending if I'm taking camera gear with me, that can be a little bit more. And then on the TRT, had to take a bear canister, so that probably pushed it to somewhere around 12 pounds. But for whatever reason, that just did not work with some of the frameless packs that I tried. And so I had to ditch the frameless and continue on with framed packs, but I'm okay with that. I've made my peace there. But the frame packs even too, you know, I've only used about a 60-liter pack, the Z-Packs Arc Haul. I can link my review to that here, which I still love. But I moved into the Kakwa 40, the Durston Gear Kakwa 40 pack, another framed pack, but less volume, which I really enjoyed. I think that's the sweet spot for me in terms of volume on a kind of a 3-season gear and pack load out. So wonderful pack, really helped me. I did a review of that backpack if you haven't seen. If you're interested in the Durston Gear Kakwa 40, I'll link that one right here. Anyway, kind of the gear stuff seems to continue to dial in and change. I also realized I probably should be taking camp shoes with me, so that is now added to my pack. Just a very lightweight Z-Packs ultralight camp shoe, whatever they're called. Kind of the gear things kind of change and fluctuate a little bit. I'm obviously kind of testing gear too for the channel here, so that will always be a bit of an element to me in particular. But hopefully that's helpful for you with some of the things that I have tested and have planned to test in the future. But what gear choices did you make this year that were different? I would really be interested to hear down in the comments. New things added to your kit, old things that are just that tried and true, old reliable, that you will never change or never go away from. Curious what worked in some of those new gear choices and maybe what didn't work. But leave that down in the comments below. That'd be a fun little conversation to have in terms of, we all love gear. So it'll be really fun to have that conversation about what you tried and how it worked or how it didn't work. So number 5 is going to be kind of the mileage strategy and how that changes things. So I typically use Onyx Backcountry to plan my trips, and I think it's a great tool. I think it might be one of the best tools out there. That being said, the mileage on Onyx versus what I get on my watch versus if it's a trail that's on Far Out versus the mileage that Far Out says can be wildly different. And so I've got to think about that a little bit differently, in particular moving forward into 2026 and some of the hiking that I have planned to do there. So, you know, where I would normally think, hey, an 18, 19, 20 mile day, if that's what it says on Onyx, I probably need to add another 2 to maybe even 3 miles to that based on what my Garmin watch is going to say. And then Far Out kind of seems to be in between the two over time as I've compared these, at least on the Tahoe Rim Trail. So just one thing that I want to be more aware of as I go into my 2026 hiking season with what I kind of have on tap and on the calendar, tentatively on the calendar for next year. So point number 6 is going to be not as maybe tangible, a little more maybe emotional, if that's the right word. But one of the things I really learned this year is that my why for hiking, it just matters a lot more than the gear, than the miles done, than, you know, some of those other things that sometimes we like to use as a measuring stick or a barometer for our hikes. I love being in nature. I love in particular, I love the mental kind of clarity and reset that it provides. Sometimes I can get that doing a day hike where I just need, you know, 4 or 5 hours to be out in the mountains. Fortunately, I have mountains that are here. But I do know once a year, you know, once, twice a year, it's good for me to be out for, you know, a couple of days, 3 to 4 days. The longer ones that I have done, JMT, TRT, I certainly get that mental reset. I don't need it to be 10 days or 14 days or a month per se. But I enjoy the hiking and I enjoy accomplishing a goal. And so sometimes the longer trails are a little bit more about accomplishing a goal. But the why in terms of the mental reset, the mental health benefits of being in nature are really what is important to me. More so than the distance is covered, more so than maybe even checking the box of another trail. I do enjoy that though, as you can see behind me here. If you are interested in any of these kind of posters for any trails you've done, I'll do a quick plug for Tell Your Trail. You can see down in the video description, I have an affiliate link for Tell Your Trail and a 12% off discount code. So if any of these trails look interesting to you or ones that you've done and you want to commemorate that through a little poster, feel free to use the affiliate link and go down and order something cool from Tell Your Trail. That does give me a little bit of a kickback at no extra cost to you. It does help support the channel and helps so that I can continue to create these videos, test different gear, and all the other fun stuff. But the why behind your hikes are definitely more important than any of the actual kind of data or the tangible gear or whatever it might be. So find what your why is. I would be interested to know, as it relates to hiking and getting out in nature, what is your why? What is your why behind doing that? Please comment below what your why is. I would love to kind of hear how you view things and see things and what matters, you know, to you and what is important for you as you get out onto hikes or into nature. So that's kind of the video for this week. These are the lessons that I have learned this year in particular that have been meaningful for me, kind of the 6 lessons there. But curious, what is the biggest lesson that you learned in 2025 through your hiking? Any of the things that are similar to mine, totally different, but comment below and let me know what it is that you have learned, or maybe the 1 or 2 things that really stood out to you this year as you were on the trail. It's a lot of fun to read how people are experiencing the outdoors, experiencing the different trails, and what those trails are speaking to them or to you. So let me know. Would love to kind of see that and read through the comments. So friends, thanks for being here. I sincerely appreciate your viewership, the subscribers, the comments, the likes. It really helps my channel. It really helps me to kind of continue to stay, sponsor free and do this on my own. I'm paying for all this gear. I'm paying for all of these trips, and I'm grateful to be able to do that for sure. So anything that you can do to help the algorithm out will be really helpful to the channel and to me, as well as any of the affiliate links below. If you're thinking about that gear, those are only things that I actually use and I actually trust and that I think would be good for you. So if that's helpful, I appreciate it when those that do, and I'm going to be talking about that here in a few weeks as we get into January with a bit of a State of the Union, if you will, on Colby on the trail. But next week, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Tahoe Rim Trail and the John Muir Trail and why you might consider doing one or the other. So friends, if you want to see one of the biggest lessons that I learned this year play out in real time on the Tahoe Rim Trail, I will link the video of the one thing I would do differently here. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Peace.